So metallic, epoxy, and let's just do, so square feet, let's just say we'll keep it simple, a 500 square foot garage, okay? So we're gonna figure out our material costs. Now, generally speaking, just throwing out a number, just from experience, but you can all find this on the app as well, is that your material cost for metallic flooring is going to be somewhere between $3 and $4 a square foot. That's your material cost, okay? So let's just take the medium, and let's just say $3.50 is going to be your material cost, a square foot, okay? So someone times 350 times 500, and I'll double check it as well. $1,750? Yeah. All right, so now you got your material costs for a 500 square foot metallic, okay? But what if the client wants high gloss? Are you going to put an extra epoxy gloss coat on it? That is an option. And what I would do is I would have it in your contract that you will do a walkthrough with the client after you do your design, and you can determine with the client if they want to pay for an extra clear coat, okay? So if it came out like this side over here, pretty damn near perfect, they're probably gonna be like, I love it, we don't need to do another clear. But if you have it built into your estimate, okay, for additional clear coat, and if you're gonna put in, hey, I will, for 500 square feet, what's my material cost and what's my labor and time to do an additional clear? Well, let's do the math real quick. You usually want to be around 70 to 100 square feet per gallon for putting a clear epoxy down. If there's some leveling to do, then you go on the heavier side. If it's like pretty close and there's just some touch-ups and you need to do some little things, touch up some imperfections, then you can go closer to the 100 square feet. So let's just say we're close to the 100 square feet. In this case, that's 5 gallons because it's 500 square feet, so we would need 2 kits, okay? So let's just say it's gonna be $300 for the material costs. But you're gonna spend another half day sanding it and then doing another clear, okay? So if we determine that you and your employee are making, $30 an hour, and that's $60 a labor hour, and you guys are going to be there for a total of 8 hours, so that's another what? So if you're going to be there for 30 times 4 hours, that's 120 times 2, that's another $240. Okay, so we had 300 plus 240, and you're going to make money on it. You can't just, hey, let me just spend a day just to break even, right? So, let's just say you're going to say, hey, it's going to be another $1,000 for us to put additional clear over it. Okay? So now we're going to lump this in and just say we got 1,000 plus 1,750, and we'll just call all that a separate cost for an additional clear, okay? But we've included the labor on this one, but I'm going to show you why we're doing it like this. Okay, now we got to figure out, okay, what is our true labor for this job, okay? So let's say we spend a day grinding, repairing, and putting down the grout coat and base coat. That's one day, if you guys are on your P's and Q's. So once again, 2 guys, 8 hours. Let's just say 10 hours. Let's just say, hey, you know what? We gotta get this done. We gotta get this grout coat down. We gotta get this base coat down. 2 guys, 10 hours. So 10 times 60, if you're paying yourself $30 each, is 600. So that first day, so labor. So first day, $600. The second day, you're gonna come. You're gonna make sure everything's good. Let's assume everything's great. We're gonna sand it. There's no pinholes, and we're gonna get ready for a metallic. Let's say it takes you 2 hours to get ready for sanding it and cleaning and getting it ready to pour a metallic. And then you now got to pour the metallic, get it ready, get your mixing station ready, get everything taped up, do what you need to do. So let's just say between that, it's another 2 hours. And then you're another hour into it after cleaning up and whatnot. So let's just say second day for this job in particular, you have another 10 hours for you and your employee at $30 an hour is what, 300? Because it's a half day. Or am I right on that? Yeah, it was half of the 10. So half day, second half day, 300. Okay, now the third day, if it's hot weather and everything's good and you can just seal it up, you seal it up. You can put down your ceramic coating or you can sand it, put down your urethane coating, whatever makes sense. But let's just say it takes you another 4 hours to do what you need to do and seal it. Okay, times 2, 8 hours at 30, $240 for the labor on that one. And then let's say you got to come back the next day, just make sure the top coat dries. So let's just say, hey, the fourth day, it's another, whatever, let's just say $120, okay? Just to make sure everything's good, peel the tape up, take off plastic, whatever it may be. So 900, 1140, 1260. 1260? So this is if everything goes perfect. And you didn't even put that other clear on yet, right? So 1260 plus your material of 1750. So we're going to do option 1 of material. Huh? Okay. And then we got your labor. So you got 3,010. That's your cost to complete this job. Okay, so now you know that's going to be my all-in cost if everything goes well. Okay, 3,000. So where are we going to bid this job at then? Okay, 500 square feet. Most people are doing metallics $9, $10, $11, $12 a square foot. Okay, it's a higher risk, more detailed job. So let's just start on the low end. Let's just say 9 times 4,500. I'm sorry, 9 times 500. 9 times 500 is 4,500. Okay? So if we're going to go with, right here, option 1, 4,500, and that's going to be at $9 a square foot. Okay? So if we do that, you're going to make $1,490 if everything goes perfect. Okay? That's not bad. Not bad. So what's our gross profit on that? So someone do 1,490 divided by 4,500.
Divided by what?
4,500. So that's on the low end. Okay? In my opinion, you should not be bidding metallic floors less than $9 a square foot. What did we say? We want to be between 30 and 50. Yeah. Okay, so let's just play devil's advocate here. Let's just say, hey, you know what? Let me bid it. I really want this job. Let me bid it at $7. Okay? 7 times 500 is 3,500. Okay? 3,500 barely even covers your material and labor. So you have $490 if everything goes right. Oh, wait a minute. You also have to pay for gas, your buckets, your rollers, paper towels. You also, if you're doing it the right way, paying your employees, you have to pay payroll taxes. Do you have insurance, workers' compensation? Okay, so it makes no sense. Oh, but I'm doing it, by myself and whatnot. Okay, fine. If one thing goes wrong, you're screwed. You will not make money on it. Do you want to live on the edge like that? I don't. Okay, can you go $8 a square foot? Sure. You go $8 a square foot, you're going to be at 4,000. You'll be below 30%. and you'll be at $990, okay? Once again, if one thing goes wrong, you are still losing money at $8 a square foot, okay? $9 a square foot if you have to do another clear coat for whatever reason because you messed up. Maybe you didn't seal the concrete right, it had pinholes, maybe something went wrong, and you have to do, you have to spend $1,000 for labor, or I'm sorry, $240 plus $300 for the additional product to put another clear coat down. You still are going to make money if you're at $9 because you're still going to be now at, you're going to be what, at 4,500 minus here, just call it 1,490, take away almost 500, so you're still going to be making $1,000. Okay, if you have to do another clear coat. So that makes sense. This day and age, honestly, if the concrete's perfect and there's no major repairs, there's no issues that you have to do additional work, great, boom, $9. But if you have to coat the stem walls, if you got to do a front border, if you have to fill the joints, if you have to put a logo in, all those things matter. There's no way you should be doing that for $9 a square foot. Yeah. Never. Because if one thing goes wrong, you're done. And that's more time, that's more labor, right? You might have to split, you might have to come back a fifth day, right? Or on that fourth day, you might just have to take a little longer. Or the third day, when you're sealing it, you got to do more stuff on the stem walls. So all those things make a difference. So really, if you're at 500 square feet, I prefer to be $10 to $12 a square foot is where I like to be at. That gives me enough cushion where I can include everything usually that the client wants if there's joints. And we talked about how you can charge and figure that out. And if something goes wrong, I'm still making money on it, right? But you got to remember too that this is a metallic floor usually is 3 to 5 days. That's 3 to 5 days that you're not on another job. So why would you want to, be at $8 a square foot, and you could break it down per day. If you made $1,500 and you're there for 5 days, you made $300 a day for the company. You paid yourself, but the company only made $300 a day. So sometimes it's not the same when you look at it for a flake job, because a flake job you're there for only a day and a half. So metallics, they take up a lot of time, they take up a lot of energy, and that's the approach that I would take. Now, as you get more higher square footage in the job, then you can adjust your pricing because you can get more product and you can do more with your labor when you have larger square foot. So there's certain minimums that you have to have, but once you start getting 1,000, 2,000 square feet, you can work with the numbers a little bit more. You have more to play with. Questions? Does that all make sense? So I don't want to hear you guys are ever bidding at $7 a square foot for your metallic floors. $8, you better have a very good reason to do it. It's your grandma's house. Or it's 5,000 square feet. Like, okay. Yeah. Maybe we could make the margins work with that. Okay, but for 400, 500, 600 square feet, 800 square feet, maybe for closer to 1,000 square feet, you could make it work. But for your normal 2-car, 1-car garages, small rooms, like there's no way. Yeah. Once again, once you figure in your gas money, all of the other costs built into the job, we haven't even.
Workers' comp alone is a little over $300 a month per each one of my guys.
Yeah.
Just my workers' comp.
Yeah, we were paying $12 for every 100 that we would pay an employee. It dropped now to 7 for us,
We're at 9
but
right now.
there you go. So that's another 10%.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what it is. So 10%. So if you figure, hey, I'm going to spend 10% on consumables, your throwaways, right? Buckets, rollers, paper towels, and then you're going to do another 10% of workers' comp and another 10% on payroll taxes. Okay? That so basically on your employee, every time you're paying them 100, you're paying 20 more for taxes and insurance. So that if you really start backing it in, then it's like, man, it really even $8 a square foot doesn't make sense. But then you have, and some of you might be doing it, you're owner operator, you don't have employees, you're self-contracting, you might hire people for the day. to help you out. Other contractors, you know, you can try to make that work. I've found it's really difficult to scale when you don't have employees. When you're relying on other contractors and you're trying to work with their schedules, it's really hard to scale. So most of the companies that are doing well with scaling, they have, you know, 1 or 2 crews, they have dedicated employees, and they're doing the same jobs over and over. That's why flakes is so easy to scale, because it's a scalable system. Metallics is different. Cool?